Hey, what's up everybody? This is Pat from Salt Strong, and in this video I'm going to take you on the water with me, and I'm going to show you my decision-making process when I'm trying to eliminate that negative water and find more of that positive water where the fish are holding. And this is important because what is happening is we're being marketed to so much that we actually think that getting that new rod or reel or getting that new lure is going to make all the difference in the world. But if you hang out to the end of this video, you're going to get some valuable information that's going to help you put more fish in the boat. A lot more than that new lure color. So let's get right into it. That was a good hit there. A little snook. Look at that, or a big trout. That's a nice trout. Really nice trout. Very cool. There we go. That is a solid trout right there. Okay, so what I'm doing is right along this shoreline, parallel with this shoreline, there's just kind of this river of bait that's moving through. There's actually quite a bit of it, and I'm trying to pinpoint where that nervous bait is. You probably heard that term before, but what nervous bait is when you see it pushed up at the surface and it's actually acting like it's trying to get out of the water, that typically means there's something underneath. Whether the fish is actively feeding or not, it's hard to say, but whenever you see bait fish get really high up in that water column, that's always a good sign. And of course, if you start seeing the predatory fish feeding on them, that is obviously a good sign. But I'm targeting those areas that the bait looks just a little bit more just nervous, as they say. Also, another good thing is if you see a bait that's going in a straight line and then all of a sudden it kind of goes in it diverts over and then comes back, that's either one of two things. Either it's going around a predator, the bait's going around a predator, or there's structure in the water. Either one is going to be good. So it's a good idea to cast like right in that diversion where that bait is kind of moving to the side and going back in, like that crescent area. That's where I just caught that last trout. I was doing that exact thing. Wasn't even paying attention to that one. He took it. I was off looking off over there. So that is a perfect spot right there. Got this long straight shoreline, and then all of a sudden it comes to this little point right here, and that's where the bait was kind of swimming by. Oh, messing around too much. Now, you probably heard us talking about, keep moving until you find something that you like. And I want to show you what this looks like. And this is exactly what I keep doing when I'm moving around. This is what I'm looking for. So we've got a shoreline right here. There's a ton of bait. I've seen some pushes for some bigger fish, so there's predators here. There's some birds right over there. And then we've got some unique structure. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's a point right there. And then if we pan over here, we've got an opening that goes behind an island. And there's just bait all over the place. So this is what we mean when we talk about keep moving until you see signs of life or see something that you like. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to catch fish here, but I definitely have a strong feeling that there's some fish in the area, and I'm going to work this area pretty good, and we'll see what we come up with. And this is where on-the-water observation really comes into play. As I was drifting along the shoreline, I was noticing that I was spooking off redfish and trout out of these potholes. And it wasn't just any pothole, it was the smaller isolated potholes. So what I was able to do was I was able to eliminate the negative water and fish only the positive water, meaning that I was keeping my lure in the strike zone longer because I knew it was the smaller potholes that was holding fish. And when I realized this, that's when the catching really picked up. Yeah, there we go. Nice little red on the Alabama leprechaun mulligan. Seems like these fish are pretty much right on these potholes. And that's what they're relating to. And a nice little bottom slot red. Okay, so as you can tell, we got a little bit of wind, which is a good thing. I'm having this wind push me right along, going north to south right along here. And now that we've figured out that these fish are relating to these potholes, what I'm doing is I'm trying to spot these potholes out. It's kind of hard because that sun's at a kind of a weird angle here. But what I want to do is I want to make sure on every single one of my casts, there goes a fish right there. What I want to do is make sure on every single one of my casts that the lure is going over one of these potholes. And it seems like every time that I'm getting a bite or catching a fish, it's off these potholes. So if you run into a situation like that, try and do that same thing. Try and just make sure your lure is staying in that strike zone as long as possible. And so one thing I like to do when I'm setting up my drift like this is I like to go in and out from that shoreline to see where these fish are staged at. And what I did was I drifted out a little bit further out there. I noticed that was a little bit deeper. That's probably about 3 foot right there, and then that's probably about 2 foot right there. So what I did was I just placed my kayak right along this depth change, and when I'm changing my cast, I go, you know, basically 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I'm fishing 3 different depth ranges and also the depth change right here, and that way I can help pinpoint me where these fish are going to be at. And maybe I'm catching different kind of fish. Maybe the trout are out deeper, maybe the redfish are out here, or maybe bigger trout are here. But changing things up like that lets you dial in that bite a little bit better. Looks like I'm a little bit off on my drift. I'm going to make a correction here, but when you're out there, make sure and do that. That snook knows he's hooked. No! No. Chaos. You always know when you get a snook hook because it's pure, utter chaos. There you go. Not the biggest guy in the world, but they always put up a pretty good fight. There you go, buddy, go. Okay, I just caught that snook, and even though it's not big, if you catch a snook, you definitely check your leader. He got it all the way in his mouth and he frayed that leader, so check your leader, retie after every snook. Nice red. Hit that one on the pause. I was giving it the really aggressive twitch pause. I'm actually using a jig head and not a Haas Helix hook. Got a manatee right there. Got to watch out for him. But started really working it aggressively and let it hit on the pause there. Back up into this cove here real quick. Let that manatee pass by. Pretty fish. If you're new to fishing and you're struggling on catching fish, or if these seasonal changes has got you in a lull and you don't know where to go, we have a free online fishing school that will take you from a beginning stage to an intermediate stage to an advanced stage, and it will show you some new ways of finding fish in your area. And again, it's absolutely free. We don't need a credit card. All we need is your email address so we can send you the link. And the reason why we're giving this to you is we want to show you what Salt Strong is all about, and that is helping you catch more fish in less time. Now, this is the same information that has taken me from a struggling angler to now somebody that teaches people how to catch fish for a living. So hopefully you'll go through this, and when you do, let us know in the comments below on what you think about it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to that free fishing course down below, so make sure and check that out. As always, I really do appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you again in the near future. Have a great one. Bye.